Hello, my name is Erin Johnson. Welcome to Think Tank Television. As I'm sure everyone knows, we're fast approaching Mother's Day this soon, and it's a chance to celebrate mothers. And another great way to have mothers is to have a Mothers Club right in our town, which we do. And Denise Taylor is our president. And welcome, Denise. It's great to see you.
Hi, good evening. It's good to be here.
We've had this talk before, and it's great because, you know, it's around Mother's Day, and it's great to, I think, have a show about mothers. So the Mothers Club, and a little bit about Mother's Day. What have you heard about Mother's Day in the past? Any of the history about it?
I don't know as much as you know. I actually found it interesting when we had exchanged emails, the information that you had, I had never heard of. So it's interesting to me anyways, but especially because I'm a mom, it was even more interesting.
Okay, so so I did a little research, and I found out that Mother's Day was it actually started in West Virginia. This was way back in about 1907. And the woman's name was Anna Jarvis, the one who started it. And her mother had passed away. So she had a memorial service for her mother in St. Andrew's Church in Grafton, West Virginia. And after that, you know, she decided to create this holiday, Mother's Day. So in a way, it really was inspired by her effort to remember her own mother. And then it progressed. It by 1908 they had an official Mother's Day celebration there, and after that it spread across the country. And one thing I found very interesting that I didn't know was that President Woodrow Wilson in 1914 he said that a flag should be flown on May 2nd, and quote, because there should be a public expression of our love and reverence for the mothers of our country. So it was I guess a tradition that didn't last, but he made a pretty official matter of Mother's Day by doing that. Okay, so then many years, St. Andrew's Church became a shrine. How do they say it? For mothers and Mother's Day, and officially in May 15th, 1962. And I think in more recent times, people have traditions like sending cards. And I don't know, do you know any particular traditions people have about, some people go out to brunch. A lot of people like to go to a Mother's Day brunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's been tricky with COVID, but we did stuff like growing up. Both my grandparents, my grandmothers, I had a nanny and a grandma, and we would always, Mother's Day was always the day that we would go get flower boxes, for example. Like every year, that was the gift that my mom and like my brother and sister and I would give to my grandmother to go on her front porch up in Savin Hill, and then we always did cards and stuff. And I think as a mom, my favorite gifts are the ones that my daughter made in school. Mm-hmm. And now that she's 13, and next year she's going to be a freshman in high school. Mm-hmm. So I actually have them next to my bed, and when I come across them, they're just there. But if I'm cleaning or something and I come across them, it's always like touching to go back and see it, because one, I miss her being that little. As excited as I am to watch her grow into her own strong and independent woman, it's really cool and nice to see just the cards that she's made in the projects with the language, back when she was in kindergarten and elementary school. So those things are always fun too. We always try to do something with, I spend the day with her. Mm-hmm. And it varies what we do, especially COVID, that we were limited last year, but I try to hang out with my mom so that she gets to spend time with her grandmother. And yeah, it runs the gamut. Either we just depending what everyone wants to do, we either just hang out if it's a nice day at my parents' house, or, you know, we'll go out to breakfast or to lunch or something. So standard.
Yeah, it's a really nice experience, you know, as a mother.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about, we were going to talk about the Mothers Club, and then you mentioned the pandemic. And so one of my questions is, and I was there to know it, but how have things changed? Now we've had most of our meetings online, but in other respects, how did it change?
Yeah, it was funny. I remember you and I meeting last year, having the same show, and that it was such a different place. You know, it was the unknown. We didn't know how long this was going to last. It was scary. We really didn't know at the time, as far as the club went, how we were going to push forward, what that was going to look like for us as a club. And last year, you know, and just like everybody else, we had to pivot. And we were able to do that. We were very lucky. One thing that we started, last year during this time, was we started our flocking, because that's one of our annual fundraisers. For anyone not familiar, where you essentially pay, I think we actually changed the price actually last year during the pandemic, because people, you know, that we were familiar with, people were losing their jobs and people were going out of business. But we wanted to find a way to still bring cheer to the community, because we felt at the time the community needed that more than ever. So our plastic little feathered friends.
They're pretty funny when you see them all lined up on a lawn.
Yeah, they became very popular. So people would submit an order. We would advertise it on Facebook, and then people could email us and they would submit an order. We did a lot, mostly through Venmo, which I think was also very helpful. And we flocked so many houses. And so we took like 10 flamingos and we would visit the address, and we put them on the address of whoever the intended victim was. But it turned into something really cool, because they did bring cheer to people, like grown-ups and children, throughout the pandemic, because it was just something bright and something to look forward to. And even that, we kind of hemmed and hawed about it because of the restrictions and, you know, and just precautions. And so we ended up originally just having 3 of us on the board, had our own flock that we were solely responsible for. And just the 3 of us initially would go out and do the houses. We'd drop them, then we'd go back and collect them a couple of days later, and we'd wipe them down. Then we had our masks on and we were using gloves. So it was a big process for us, especially the 3 of us. Then we started to, I think we had 2 more people help us, because then we also wanted to do something for the seniors, because those kids, you know, they missed out on their senior activities and, you know, graduation. So we actually, Erin Johnson was the brainchild. She came up with making little graduation caps, and her and her daughter actually constructed them, and it worked. And we ordered signs congratulating the seniors. And what happened was, the difference in those flocks was the graduating senior who was getting the flock was able to keep the sign as a memento. So we actually flocked a lot longer than we normally do. We were able, like I said, to kind of cheer up and bring something special to the seniors last year. So it was a learning experience. It was fun. And at the end of the day, it was a fundraiser. So we were still able, I think we raised about $2,000 just on the flocking alone, which was great, because we are a nonprofit and our goal and mission is to raise funds so that we can turn around and give them back into the community. So we were able to raise additional monies to give scholarships and back to some of the local organizations that had been struggling because of COVID. This year, it's flocking season. So we are flocking again. It's a little different because the restrictions are, you know, a little more lax. So there's more of us, which is nice, that because we have a board of, there's 11 of us on the board, and it's nice to be able to, distribute the responsibilities for the flocking, because it's a big job. And again, we're doing it again because the seniors, again, we're offering grad flocks because they, it's still different for them too. So we're giving those kids, and actually we've been flocking 8th grade students. So we've had some requests for some 8th grade graduations. The sign is the same. It just says class of 2021, but it's fun because we're branching out. So we're getting quite a few more orders on the grad flocks. So we're back at it. And it's just nice. I think last year the flamingos had a little bit more meaning. Just it meant more because it was such a scary and crazy time, and people were literally inside the house.
Yeah.
But they're still fun. Like, who doesn't get cheered up when they see pink flamingos on their lawn? So that's one thing that we're doing.
Well, I thought it's something kind of goofy, but maybe when you're done taking care of the seniors, you might want to do your next flock and put little masks on them.
Yeah, it's funny. We did think about that we thought about that, and we were trying to figure out how to make it work. And then it was just like, let's just do it. But that's definitely not a bad idea. Some of the other things that we did to go along those same lines was for Halloween. So we normally have like a meat raffle in the fall. We weren't going to be able to do that fundraiser. And that again, and we also usually have a craft fair. So we weren't able to do the craft fair. So those are 2 big fundraisers for us. So we were really trying to figure out like how are we going to how can we do this? How can we creatively fundraise and be safe? So actually Kelly Melito came up with the idea around Halloween to boo people, which was pretty much along the same lines as the flamingos. We were able to get some Halloween decorations, and we made up signs, and same thing. And right around Halloween, people signed up to have their friends booed. And it was fun because we had like little solar lights. They were like little ghosts and along those lines, and maybe pumpkins. But so when you put them out at night, they would light up, and it was all solar. So it was so easy. Same thing. We drop them on a lawn, super cute, go back like the next day, 2 days later, pick them up and go on to the next victim. And again, it was something that the community really enjoyed because, again, we didn't know what the status of trick-or-treating was, and it was just something else. For the baskets, every year, and you're familiar, being a member of the club, we do these beautiful baskets, and usually we raffle them at the craft fair, but we weren't able to have the craft fair. So it was like, okay, what are we going to do? And again, the board reconvened and we brainstormed, and we came up with a way to go through a company. I think it was called Raffle Up. And we were able to raffle our baskets online. And we made it was insane. We didn't know how it was going to go. The site was a little tricky at first for the tech dinosaurs that some of us are, but we were able to get it up and running. And again, these baskets were put together by the membership. So we figured out a way to just, each board member chaired the basket. The members signed up through email. They went out and purchased the items, dropped them on the porch to be safe of the chair for the basket. We put the baskets together. We threw them up on the website, and to our surprise, we raised about $3,000 on that. So, we've been really lucky. We've tried to be so creative with respect to our meetings. Everything has been virtual. We were able at Christmas to come up with like a drive-by Christmas meeting, which for us, our Christmas party and our banquet at the end of the year are the 2 most attended meetings, because I don't know if it's the food or what, but we Mothers Club members like to eat and we like to compete. Those are like the 2 things we like to do. So we had a couple meetings where we did contests, but the first meeting we did was a scavenger hunt. And the way we did that was, at this point, whoever you were comfortable with, within your bubble, it was outside. And it again, we had no idea how it was going to go, and it turned out to be super fun. And the members just submitted videos on our Facebook page after they did each item on the list for the scavenger hunt. And there were winners, and they got prizes, and it was fun. And we also support local businesses, so some of our prizes were like gift cards to Restoration Coffee in Whitman Center that had just opened up. So we try to keep it fun. We've tried to be creative. We've done a lot. Everything's been virtual. Our Christmas party was a success. It was a drive-through, and we had a car decorating contest, which was super fun. So the members we did a Christmas parade. They all had their cars decorated. They came through the Legion parking lot, and we if they wanted to do the gift exchange, again, they gave us a gift, we gave them a gift. So it was like, what you get, you don't get upset. But it was a way for us to still be able to keep some of our traditions, and it was fun. And so, so far so good.
It sounds like,
trying.
Yeah, you've come up with such interesting ideas that it sounds like you might keep them, even if, when the pandemic is over and we can meet in person again.
Oh, the basket raffle for sure. I mean, we were able to reach so many people that we would normally not reach just from doing that online. So I think we have been told that we are going to be able to bring back our craft fair, which is exciting.
Good,
so
yeah.
we will probably do both. We'll probably somehow try to figure it out how we can keep it online. And
the live craft fair is in December usually?
Yeah, so we've gotten word from the Knights of Columbus that we will be able to host our craft fair, which is nice because, I don't know, it's fun. It's always a good time getting to know the vendors. We usually get the same group of vendors that have been coming for years. They look forward to coming. We look forward to having them. I like to do a little shopping. so
yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it is. You know what I have a question about? Right now, you're getting everybody ready for something called Mom on the Go. What is that?
So we were so sad we weren't able to have our banquet last year because of COVID. So which was a huge bummer because weirdly it just worked out this way. So I was president of last year, and so usually when you're president you serve two years, so it's a two-year term. So last year was our 75th anniversary of the Mothers Club. So we were so excited, and I had such big plans for last summer for the entire town, really. We were going to do an 80s night, which I'm going to be president next year. So if we have the go ahead for getting together in public, the 80s party is definitely going to happen.
Okay.
But we had to, we weren't able to do that. So we missed the banquet. And I had also been president when the club turned 70. And back then we did a big gala. So like for 75, I really wanted to do something, change it a little bit. I wanted to do something where we're involving the town originally, but we weren't able to do that. So this year we were thinking along the same lines as the Christmas party, that we weren't sure we were going to be able to be back inside together. So we again went back to the drawing board as a board. And what we came up with was we are going to have a food truck. So everything's going to be outside on actually Monday. So we have this food truck called Mom on the Go. So I think it's his husband and wife, and you'll see them around. I actually came out of the doctor's office at South Shore Medical Center in Norwell, and they were in the parking lot after I just got my clean bill of health for my physical. And I was like, what better than to have bacon and cheddar tater tots after my cholesterol? So I went over and I asked, hey, would you be interested? Because they cater. So they offer dinners on the go. You can order them if you check out the website. That you can order dinners to go, and they'll deliver your dinners, or just the food truck itself caters. So we were able to secure them for our banquet. So we're gonna have them come. It'll be grilled cheese. I think it's a couple different, like they're more like gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, which is perfect for me because I'm one of those. I'm not of the norm. I never cared for grilled cheese as a kid. But their grilled cheese sandwiches have like buffalo chicken dip. I think I tried the apple and smoked bacon was delicious. So we're going to have them come. We're going to do oversized lawn games like lawn Jenga. We have some cornhole boards. We are working on getting some other games like checkers or a big like Connect Four, just so the membership can get together because we haven't really been together for almost 2 years. I mean, we did the drive-through for Christmas, but you know, this will be the first time that we're going to be safe and distant, but that we'll actually still be together celebrating. So I'm really looking forward to Monday's banquet.
What a great idea. I mean, that was brilliant, really.
So, and of course, I'm excited for the bacon and cheddar tater tots. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's neat. So, just in terms of joining the club, who can join?
So really, you don't have to be a mom to join. That's kind of like the big myth. We've had plenty of members who actually don't have children join. They joined because their family members had joined, like either their moms were in the group or their sisters or a friend. So you don't have to be a mother, but most of us are. But to join, our season runs typically from September till May. That's why we're having the banquet Monday as like our kind of our finale for the season, and we'll be actually tomorrow night. I'm hosting the president's dinner with the board, which is basically we eat, but the purpose is to go over the distributions of the funds that we raised for the year and to distribute like scholarships and stuff like that. So we'll be doing work. But it's September to May, and basically you can join anytime. Officially, we have our meet and greet in September where you would more formally join. The dues for the whole year is $20. It's only going to cost you $20. And that just secures your place in the membership. And the only thing we ask in return is that you participate in at least like I think a couple hours of voluntary work, meaning you attend one of our fundraisers or you help out at the fundraiser. So if it's the craft fair, maybe you provide an item for the bake table, or you work the raffle table, or you work in the kitchen or whatever. Or if we have our meat raffle, same thing. Like you would maybe help by coming and bringing your friends and family. So, or contributing to the baskets for the basket raffle, an item or two. So we don't really ask that much. You come when you can. Some people get a little bit nervous thinking like, because our meetings are in non-COVID, our meetings are usually the third Monday of the month at the American Legion. We've tried to stick to that similar schedule on Zoom to do our virtual meetings, but people panic thinking that there's an attendance policy. There isn't, but there's definitely a benefit to attending. So what we do is the more you attend for our banquet, you get your name put into a drawing, and then you can win like $100 for having the most attendance. So it behooves you to come to our meetings, but you're not required to. So you come when you can. And honestly, like it ebbs and flows. Like I have friends who've been members for a long time, and some years they're there all the time. And then other years they get there once in a while, but they still contribute to the fundraisers, and, you know, they do things that they need to do. So anybody really.
Has the pandemic and the online meetings affected membership at all? Have more people joined as a result? Or?
It's so weird. It's such a good question, because we didn't know what to expect. And to be honest with you, like we have averaged at least 20 to 25 people per Zoom meeting, which is great because the in-person meetings always fluctuate. So our meet and greet and our Christmas party and our banquet always have the highest attendance. So we could have like anywhere from like 30 minutes. I'm just gonna click my screen. 30 members, like 20 to 30 members. But then like for some reason, January is always the lowest attended meeting. It's almost like people hang out with us for the fall, and then by January after Christmas, they're like, and then they come back in the spring. So in person, we could have like 10 to 15 members. So it depends. But since the pandemic, we've averaged about 20, 25 members each time, which has been awesome. So I don't know if we're giving people something to do.
After this pandemic, I mean, there's so many unhappy or hindrances because of it, but there are some really good outcomes too.
It's nice because you're still able to forge those relationships. That's, I think, my favorite thing about the Mothers Club is I'm friendly with people that I would never not be friendly with because I just, quite frankly, wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet them. Yeah. So it's all walks of life. It's like some of my best friends in the Mothers Club are women who are more experienced in the club, and they're, quite frankly, like they're my mom's age. You know what I mean? I'm friendly with their children, but I'm also I consider them my friends. And again, I just think that's the best part of the club.
And I know you talked a little bit about fundraisers and how well you've done, but what are some of the places that benefit from the fundraisers?
Sure. So we kind of have our traditional list of organizations at the end of the year, but the food pantry is definitely one of them. We give to the school PACs. We give to the library. I think last year we added some new organizations like the Historical Society. We always give to Friends of Whitman Park. Sometimes to the recreation. I'm trying to remember. But essentially all of the local, Whitman organizations, we try to help them out. In addition to that, we give scholarships to seniors of members who've been in the club for quite some time and are active members of the club. We also, throughout the year, we have the money. I mean, really, if there's a family in need that we learn about, we are able to help them out. In the past, there's been, I think 2 years ago, there was a nasty fire in Whitman. It was 2-3 years ago, there was a nasty fire in Whitman. We were able to donate money from the funds raised to some of those families. A few years further, there was some damage done to one of the local cemeteries. We were able to make donations to help with the cleanup of the cemetery. Last year, very tragically, Whitman lost a family, family lost several family members, 2 children and a mom and a grandmother, when they were on vacation in Disney World, and we were able to provide the family with money, which actually, it was really nice. They happened to be my neighbors, but I had abstained from the voting on that. But it was nice to be in a situation where I was attending the services and I got to meet the extended family and to know just how much they appreciated what we were able to contribute to them. They really appreciated it. It was just so nice to be able to help a family that was just going through such a difficult time. So we tend to, luckily, that's the nice part of the club. We're able to assist families in our own community that have found themselves in unfortunate situations.
That's great. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
I would definitely say we're always looking for members. If you were a member in the past and you kind of took a little bit of a break, we always welcome you back. Again, it really does. It's rewarding to be able to do things for the people in your community, and it's fun. We have a lot of fun. So join.
Thank you.
We have a website. It's www.mothersclub.com, and we have a Facebook page. So I think it's a closed group, but if you find us and send a request, we will definitely take a look at it and let you in.
Okay. Denise, thank you so much for coming here today. And I love talking about the Mothers Club, and I think it's a great club. And hope to see you again soon. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoy our conversations, and I'm so glad you're a member, and enjoy your weekend.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, Whitman Enhancement, who watched us today. We'll see you soon.